Yeah, didn't somebody like behead their teacher due to religious
Doesn't that happen
reasons?
in America all of the time? Don't you guys have this?
Beheading in Dallas.
Yeah,
You
like
guys,
it
if you're
happened
gonna
one time.
speak into the mic.
It happened one time, right? And it's a problem. It happens in your country all the time, and it's not a problem. So what's the difference?
Wait, it is a problem when it does happen.
No,
in
but
our
like, why
country.
is it used as a statistic when it happens one time in one country and a bunch of years when it happens in your country multiple times daily? Like,
What are you talking? Terrorist attacks?
no, like attacks, like violence, gun violence, knife violence, all of this stuff.
Yeah, that's a bad thing happening
Yeah, it's an
in this
awful
country.
thing. But why is it only used against immigrants in like Europe? Do you know what I'm saying? Am I coming across? Do you understand what I'm saying?
What you're saying.
Yeah, like you're saying, oh, but someone was beheaded in Paris. That's awful. Yes, it is. It's really, really awful. It's horrible. It happens here. Why is that not used as a statistic here?
Yeah,
well,
well,
I think
mean,
for
the
a starter, how much bigger the U.S. is compared to other countries. I mean, if you look at like these incidents per 100,000 people, I'm sure that the incident rate is probably way closer than if you look at the U.S. as in its entirety and all the incidents that happen in the U.S. with the 370 million people we have here compared to the population of France or England. Of course, it's going to be disproportionate with the population. It doesn't mean that we're a more violent country.
No, I'm not saying you're a violent country at all. I'm just saying that like you can't use one thing and be like, oh, the migrants are taking over because one singular person beheaded someone somewhere in Paris, because it just makes no sense.
Oh, of course. But I think, even if you go to the Eiffel Tower now, right, you have everybody, all the migrants lined up selling things on the street.
There's
right?
always been licky men.
And then the police came and they all come they pull the towel and they run. Yes, it has always been there, but I go to Europe every year, multiple times a year.
I go
and I know you guys live there, but I also am traveling to different parts. I'm not necessarily like if you go to my hometown and you try to use that as representative of what's going on in the entirety of the United States, you're going to be disappointed and you're not going to get an accurate reflection on what's happening at different parts of the country. I can only give like anecdotal evidence of this. I don't know the statistics, but I have seen in my last decade going every year that things have changed. There has been an influx of migrants. I don't know if that necessarily is related to the certain incidences that are happening. And I'm certainly not excusing racism or anti-immigrant rhetoric.
Of course.
However, I think...
What would be wrong with anti-immigrant rhetoric?
Well, I just don't know enough about the statistics to make any sort of claim that the immigrants are the causation.
To be clear, illegal immigration. But look,
yes.
you're saying, yeah, there are specific individual acts of violence, but like when we're making criticisms of illegal immigration, or even there's even valid criticisms of just basic level immigration that's even legal. There's other impacts beyond just crime or beyond like specific acts of like terrorism or whatever it is. We can look economically. There's massive negative economic impacts to this too.
Could you name them?
Oh, absolutely. Increasing rent prices.
And that's the immigrants' fault?
Well,
Is that
if
not
you
the
have
rich
a
people's
limited,
fault?
like housing is not infinite. So if you have a limited housing supply and you're like, there's an influx of like 50, 100,000 people into an area, yeah, that's going to drive rental prices up.
So I'm talking for my country.
Is anybody here with the current rental prices anywhere?
I'm talking for my country.
Okay.
In Scotland,
okay.
the problem isn't immigrants. The problem is people buying multiple properties and then, I can't talk about properties.
Look,
and
just to be
upselling
clear,
them.
rental prices...
That's why the rental prices are high.
Hold on. Obviously, this is a multivaried issue. I'm not saying the entirety of the blame. Yes, it could be greedy landlords. It could be corporations that are scooping up properties. Mm-hmm. It could be all these things in total. But this is one of the negative components to immigration. Is they have to live somewhere. They're occupying the housing stock that could otherwise go to citizens of the country.
Yes, but we also do that in not their country, but we also do that in Australia. We also do that here in America. Like Scottish people, Irish people, English people migrate to America. You just have a housing problem. Why is it only
There's
a
not a lot of
problem?
illegal immigration from Scotland.
There's a lot from Ireland. There is. And
Of
New York.
illegal.
You're from New York.
I mean, maybe like 100 years. Hold on.
No, trust
Irish
me, I know
hold
of
on.
them. I know people that are working in America illegally. Like, it's very...
Okay, fine. Then
Not
we should
doubt them.
deport the illegal Irish too. Then.
No, I love the Irish people. I don't think you should report anyone.
Okay, but like it. Okay, sure. I guess.
Like, why is it only a problem when it's someone, like, fleeing from a war-torn country? Why is
Sorry,
it only
Mexicans
a
are
problem?
not fleeing
We're
from a
not
war-torn country.
we're not talking about
There's no
refugees.
fucking
We're talking
Mexicans in
about
Scotland.
immigration. They're two different things.
I'm talking about the U.S.
Oh, we don't really
Yeah,
know
we were
much
talking.
about
We don't. We were talking about our
immigration, yeah.
country.
No, you were talking about even in America, there's Scottish and
That's supposed
Irish
to be in a
immigrants.
Scottish accent.
No, that's just my mocking.
It wasn't very
tone,
good.
guess.
I think what she was saying is that there's migrants to Scotland, but there's also migrants leaving Scotland and going
Yeah,
to different countries.
that's how it works. People move. People.
I think she was saying there's like a give and take.
I mean, if you're trying to point this out like as a sort of own, like, oh, Brian, I'm sure you're fine with the illegal immigrants from Scotland, I'd be like, no, I'm not fine with any of them.
No, but no one ever talks about it. No one
Talks
ever.
about what?
No one ever is like.
We
oh,
talk
it's
about
a
it here in the
problem.
USA.
Well, you
Wasn't
do.
there just massive protests?
Yeah, there's
about, like-
massive protests
Yeah.
across the UK.
There's not.
But there
It's-
is.
I
though.
literally, Nick,
There
find that
is.
video.
It's just
Find that
London.
video.
It's just
London.
London. Like.
Okay, it's
London
just
isn't
London.
the whole of the UK.
It's not.
There were protests.
There was
Just
protests
all-
in Scotland. They got counter. There was like 10 people that showed up.
There
Okay.
was one flag in my hometown, and then the newspaper wrote about it, and someone took it down.
Yeah,
So-
it's not like a big like. I respect you. I respect all of you here. Please, don't listen to the news. It's not, or your statistics, because we live there. We see it. There's if you put up a fucking like.
Wait, this is a crazy thing because, like, well, I live in Santa Barbara, which is like one of the highest cost living of cities in California, and like things here are mostly the same in Santa Barbara. But if you look at other regions of California, you look at other places in the United States, immigration, especially legal immigration, absolutely has had impact in communities.
I think USA and the UK is very
We're
different
so
because
different.
Right, but I couldn't look, like, for example, Montecito is like the wealthiest places in the country. It's just 10 minutes down south. Oprah Winfrey lives there. Who's the prince that moved? Prince Harry lives here with his wife, Meghan Markle. Ellen DeGeneres. Who else? Rob Lowe. A bunch of rich, famous people live just 10 minutes away from here. 10 minutes away, like Santa Barbara, rich, snazzy, whatever. Yeah, I can go to the beach in Montecito and everything can look okay, but that doesn't mean that other regions of the state of California or other regions in the U.S. aren't feeling the impact.
So I'm speaking about my country, Scotland, and I'm telling you, there's no problem.
There's no problems in Scotland. Okay.
There's problems in Scotland.
I don't
of
know
course,
about
but
Scotland.
We don't have a migrant problem. We don't.
Well, I don't know about Scotland, but I know in England.
where
England's
I
doing.
live, there's no issue. I'm in the Midlands, so
That's amazing.
there's no.
That's great.
Thank you.
But just because,
And we
okay,
also
like,
know people from
what-
London. That
What's the population of your city?
I don't know the statistic. I'm sorry.
What city are you from?
Manchester.
Wait, Manchester's pretty big. Wikipop.
It's not that big, to be
No, it's
fair.
kinda
I mean,
small.
500,000 people in Manchester.
is that big?
You're telling me there's no immigrant? Okay,
Well,
I mean,
No, we're not.
there's no
saying
immigrants
that.
in Manchester.
We're
Okay.
not. We're not saying that. We're saying like what you're seeing on the news. Everyone like protesting against them. It's we don't actually like we don't care. Do you know immigrants built Glasgow? Like Glasgow's full of immigrants. Always has been.
We're not
Glasgow
saying there's no
invented chicken
immigrants.
tikka masala, which is like an Indian dish.
I'm pretty sure our national dish is curry.
It is like we, especially Glasgow, especially Edinburgh. We don't have a problem. Like we like it. We like the immigrants. They're
Wait,
fine.
I'm just okay. So you're saying not an issue, like we don't see it, but actually, yes, there are like.
Of course, there's immigrants. There's immigrants everywhere, but like it's not an issue. No one is saying like we don't. There's no protests. There's obviously there's protests.
There's a
but-
protest in London.
Yeah, but there's counter protests against it. The people that try to protest, especially in Scotland, have been told. Basically,
Can I ask you a question though? Let's say
course.
that I'm right on this
Okay.
issue, and in 50 years' time, the UK, England, Scotland, whatever, it's no longer a white majority country,
Okay.
and it's no longer a Christian country even.
Never has been.
We're not really that
Hold
religious.
on. What?
in
England
the
has
UK.
never been a Christian country?
We are
That
Don't
is
you
almost
have your own
cooked.
church?
We're not
The
religious.
Church of England?
It's not like we're. We're not religious.
Well, okay, modern day.
Yeah.
Modern day, but the Protestant. Well, hold on.
Yes,
You go to
yes, we
church
know
every
this.
Sunday. How can
Oh,
you?
she's
Yeah,
religious,
but
but
I go to
majority-
church every
majority
Sunday.
isn't.
There's no one there.
Okay.
We're
Look.
not a religious country.
I'm just saying, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but there could be demographic shift in these countries.
Yeah, of course.
No.
And you look at the Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Norway, etc. They've had massive influxes, and these are small countries. I believe Sweden is like around 10 million. Norway's like 3 to 4 million or something like that. Maybe these are stats from a couple years ago. They've taken in massive amounts of people, and it's like, well, okay, what does it mean to be Swedish? What does it mean to be Norwegian? What does it mean to be British?
I think it just what you make it.
Yeah.
It's all about individuality.
Well, can I be Nigerian?
if you wanted
Can
to.
I move to
Sure.
Nigeria
No,
and
probably not.
become a Nigerian?
That's what you want, babe.
Look,
I mean, that's a bit silly.
I'm from Canada, and if anybody knows anything about Canada, we like preach, live, breathe by multiculturalism. So in Canada, in no way are we like, it needs to be predominantly like white or, I mean, even indigenous. I mean, we fucking annihilated indigenous people just to colonize it. It was really fucked up. So, but nobody in Canada is like, oh, fuck multiculturalism. But the fact of the matter is that our government is letting in literally hundreds of thousands of migrants while forgetting about their own people. So we're having a lot of different issues. We're having a housing crisis. We're having an increase of crimes. We're having an increase of sexual assaults. And that's by no means to be like immigration's bad. I believe in immigration. I mostly believe in like refugees. I think as Canadians, I think we should accept people that are fleeing, war, oppression, things like that. But at the same time, our government needs to take care of the people because they're not. They're giving all of this money to people who are immigrating here. We're buying up all the houses and nobody can fucking live. Like, I make great money and I'm so lucky for that. But like, what the hell would I do? Like, I don't know how the average Canadian's living. They're just not. So it's not that like immigration's bad and we need like all white people or all people from the original ethnicity. It's just, I think the point is that like countries need to take care of their own people before giving away all the funds to shit that doesn't even like
Of course.
fucking
And
affect
Scotland
us.
specifically, we do.
Amen.
We do look after our own people. Like, we have benefit
benefits,
systems.
yeah.
Like, we have homeless shelters. We have, like, it's very rare. Like,
They have a housing scheme.
yeah,
in
there's
the
a housing
UK
scheme.
for-
If you're on the streets in Scotland and you need a house, you phone someone, you get a
go to
house.
a
My brother
hotel.
was homeless.
Yeah.
Like,
But what's
Yeah,
interesting
but-
is in so many of these countries that do have intensive benefit systems in place, like a lot of Europe, a lot of Scandinavia, so long they have existed as a homogeneous society in terms of culture, socioeconomic background, like with the workforce. There's not the same discrepancy in wealth, in beliefs that perhaps we have in America because this country has been built on the premise of diversity and a melting pot. And can you see how it could potentially be at risk or the systems that are in place be threatened when you have people coming in that don't necessarily prescribe to the same ideas, values, and I'm not even speaking in terms of religion because Norway is not religious. The Scandinavian countries are not religious at all, but they are hardworking people and they all subscribe to a very similar belief system and contribute equally. If we are having an influx of a population that is not contributing equally or do not believe equally in the same vision and don't have the same alliance to the system, do you worry about the sustainability of those programs in that country moving forward? Because now you have a new factor coming in that really throws a wrench into how things have been going on for decades.
So in the UK, if you're an illegal immigrant, you can't actually claim any benefits. Oh, am I too far away? You can't actually claim any benefits if you're illegal in the UK. So I think everyone, if they are illegal, do cash in hand. I don't know if you guys say that here.
like not
Under
off
the
books.
table is what we call it here.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Personally, I think immigration is good for our economy. However, I do think overpopulation is an issue because there's not enough houses and house prices are crazy. But saying that, you can't claim the benefits of the UK if you're illegal.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay.